So today we're going to talk through a single shift that could save you 60% of your marketing budget, and that's by redefining who you're targeting. We're going to use a simple ICP blueprint, or Ideal Customer Profile Blueprint, that's trusted by top performers to help you unlock clarity, efficiency, and ultimately growth. One of the biggest challenges I faced early in my marketing career was trying to generate results inside a company that had no clearly defined target customer. I was surrounded by incredibly talented, hardworking salespeople, but without that clarity on who we were trying to reach, every campaign felt like it was guesswork. I didn't know where to focus my time, I didn't know how to spend the company's money responsibly, or how to create a message that truly connected or resonated with our customers. That experience changed everything for me. And since then, I've spent my career helping businesses around the world define with precision who their ideal customers are, how they make decisions, and what triggers them to buy. And once companies get that type of clarity, their marketing becomes so much simpler. Their sales become more predictable, and their growth finally starts to accelerate. Do you want the harsh truth? Most of your marketing challenges aren't coming from your ads, your funnel, or your content. They're coming from targeting people who will never value what you have to offer. According to HubSpot, businesses without a strong ICP lose nearly half of their marketing budget to the wrong customers. Gartner's buyer research shows that misalignment creates confusion, stalls deals, and destroys momentum. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to fix that fast with a proven ICP framework that creates clarity, confidence, and real growth. Every successful company, from global brands to fast-growing startups, goes through a moment when everything changes. That moment's when they stop trying to sell to everyone and start focusing on their customers who actually are aligned with their strengths. McKinsey's research proves it that companies that target with precision grow faster, close faster, and they retain more of their customers. If your marketing feels like a constant uphill battle, if your sales calls feels like you're convincing instead of guiding, if your customers don't value your expertise, then you're not doing anything wrong, you're just playing without clarity. And clarity is the multiplier. When you define your ICP, you stop chasing and customers start gravitating toward you. Today I'm going to help you create that clarity, the kind of clarity that transforms your entire growth strategy. So I'm going to walk you through how to create an ICP for your organization. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to spend some time analyzing our customer base. And for today's purposes, we are going to be taking an approach specifically focused on B2B customers, but these same principles can definitely be applied to B2C customers as well. So what I want you to start doing is start pulling a set of data on your current customer base that starts looking at your total revenue by customer segment, the lifetime value by your customers, the net revenue retention by your customers, the time to value, how fast you achieve results with those customers, how painful is it to onboard those types of customers, what are your support costs for those customers, what are your churn rates for those customers, and what are your sales cycle lengths, just to name a few. And obviously you may not have all of this data at your fingertips, but do the best that you can. And as you start lining this up, we're going to get this big spreadsheet that we're going to want to kind of roughly break into 4 categories. One is your high value, which is your top 10 to 20% of your customer base. The second we're going to want to break down into good fit, and that's like the next 20 to 40% of your customer base. And the third bucket is going to be your acceptable fit, which is the next 20 to 40% of your customer base. And the fourth segment is not a fit, and that's going to be more of a negative ICP that basically says if we see customers like this, we're going to run fast and furious and not have anything to do with those types of customers. So once we have this gigantic spreadsheet of data on all of your existing customers, we're going to want to add in some additional sets of information. We're going to want to add in industry, employee count, the revenue band, how much revenue those organizations or businesses are generating, What region of the world are they located in? Where are they at in their growth stage? Some technographic information you might want to consider looking at, or what types of software and tools are they using? What are their adoption patterns from technology perspective? Where are they spending and investing their resources from a technology perspective? What are some trigger events that might lead to purchases from your organization? Are they leadership changes? Are they new rounds of funding? Are there regulatory shifts that are happening in the marketplace? Is it because they're rapidly scaling? Is it because they're facing some sort of obsolescence from technology they're using, or just different sets of businesses that they might be in? One of the favorites I was in an early job in my career was lightning strikes. So when a lightning strike hit a business, it would take out some technology that we would sell, and almost immediately we get one of the absolute shortest sales cycles of any type of customer because of a lightning strike. Most organizations that you sell to have some sort of trigger event that causes them to look for you. Understanding what that trigger event is can have make a massive difference on how you target and reach those types of organizations. So once we have consolidated all of your customer base data with some of those additional pieces of information, we are again going to take that information and work on articulating what are high value customers, what are good fit, and what are acceptable fit ICP customers. And then we're going to have a bucket that are customers or prospective customers that we just say no to because they're not a good fit for our organization. The second step on creating an ICP is to really articulate it, to present it in a way that everybody understands in your organization. And the first stage of that is really giving an ICP a clear and memorable name, such as a private equity-backed scale-up, or a founder-led services company, or a growth stage operator. Giving it a clear ICP, a clear and memorable name will go a long way to helping your team understand who your best target customers are. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a one-page ICP narrative. It's not just a bullet list, but it combines structured data and a story. An ICP snapshot at a glance, and it's going to really be a quick filter to help your sales and marketing team understand who they are targeting or who their best targets are. An ICP snapshot is going to include things like what is their company size, what is their revenue band, what industry do they typically work in, what geography are they, what buying roles do we have in that company that are important to the buying process, and what type of sales motion do we need to have to get these type of organizations in the door. The next thing we want to make sure we put on that one pager are some of your primary pain points, trigger events like the lightning strike we talked about a little bit ago, and the desired outcomes that your customers with this specific ICP have. This really gives marketing a lot of clarity, and it helps your sales team create a lot of urgency. The next thing we want to do on that one pager is clarify what makes them a good customer. Some green flags or must-haves. People on the team must have budget authority or direct access to it, willingness to change process, internal owners assigned, clear success metrics. These are things that are green flags to a project. You could also identify specific red flags or disqualifiers, like this company just wants more leads but with no sales process. There's not an internal champion that wants to lead this initiative. They have a price first mindset, and they have an unrealistic expectation of instantaneous results. Some of these things may be red flags or disqualifiers for your organization. It's really good to spell those out. The next thing we want to put on that one pager, that ICP one pager, is to articulate their buying psychology. What are things that the team members who are on this ICP fear? What would help them look good in their organization? What things are they skeptical of? The next thing that you want to do is tie each one of your ICPs to your core value propositions that really resonate with that ICP. And the last thing that you want to include on that one pager is just a summary, a final ICP summary that kind of sums up what makes this a really good fit. Here's an example. Our best customers are founder-led B2B companies with 20 to 150 employees that have hit a growth ceiling. They've tried multiple vendors, they feel blind in their data, and they want a partner who brings structure, clarity, and measurable growth, not just tactics. See how that kind of wraps a whole bunch of details around ICP and makes it real for your team. So once you have your one-pager created that you can share, you'll want to condense that down into a short paragraph and potentially even a lead qualification checklist to make sure that you are vetting opportunities that really align with ICPs that you are strong in. So how do we get our teams to use your ICP? And so that gets into really activation and making sure that ICP becomes part of your DNA. And the first thing that you really want to do with your ICP is track your ICP or tie your ICP to money and or time. You can track the close rates by ICP versus non-ICP. You can track your sales links by ICP and non-ICP. You can track your churn or your client headaches by ICP. Then it's really easy to start articulating why an ICP matters to your team. So for example, an ICP deal closes on average in 38 days versus a non-ICP deal which can take 91 days and churn 2 times as high as your ICP customers. And data like this really starts making your ICPs real in your organization. The next thing you want to do is consider turning your ICP into a gate, not just a poster or your one-pager, but asking questions that help you score or identify your ICP or identify non-fits and require an ICP score before a deal can really move forward and progress in your sales process. So if you have a gate like this, your sales team, your marketing teams can't progress a deal without answering questions that reveal if it's a strong ICP fit or not. Then they'll start using your ICP. You want to operationalize it. The next thing that you want to do is build your ICP into your messaging and content. If marketing is creating campaigns that attract non-ICP, sales will follow. And so it's really important to make sure that your messaging that you're sending out aligns with your ICPs. Make sure that your ads and landing pages call out the ICP earlier, really align with what the ICP is looking for. Make sure when you write a case study that it matches your ICP. When you're writing copy on your website, it should reflect ICP pain points and outcomes that your ICPs care about. Who you help and who you don't should be extremely visible on your website, any of your marketing assets that you have. And when leads self-select, adoption is really automatic when it comes to your ICP. Another suggestion is to reward ICP behavior and not just revenue. If you only reward closed revenue, reps will close bad fit deals. It's just going to happen. But if you build your reward structure and pipeline created matches your ICP, then that will help, those incentives will help your sales team and your marketing teams align with what you really want them to produce. And the last thing that you want to put in place as you're rolling out your ICPs across your organization is an ICP kill switch. You want to make it safe for your sales team to walk away. And that's giving them language like, we might not be the best fit for what you need. Here's what we recommend instead. This stops your team from dragging out bad fit deals and help them move forward without fear. So this may sound like a lot, but this one shift can save you 60% of your marketing budget. And so as hard as it may sound, it is worth it. Get started today.